All right, we can discuss the elephant in the room, and it's not that giant lamp. It's the fact that I'm filming in a much weird angle position. I'm filming on my desk. Normally I film this way, but right now my whole setup is just kind of all over the place. But I've been wanting to talk about the DJI Mic 3s for a very long time. And when I mean very long time, I mean 2 weeks. They came out August 28th. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks since it's been out. I'm a huge fan of DJI mics. I have the DJI Mic 2s. I think they're probably one of the best wireless mics you can get on the market right now. They do so much in sense of like the size you can get it with, but not only that, they have like their own ecosystem, so you can connect to like the Osmo Pocket 3 or some of the action cameras. Their audio quality is phenomenal. Even when you're on 32-bit recording, they sound great no matter what. So I'm super excited for these. I don't know if I'm going to get them, mainly because they're actually no longer in stock. So I'm kind of have to wait until they're back in stock. But maybe I would. I don't know. I still love my Mic 2s, but these have a lot of features that just are like, whoa. Because it's literally just if the Mic 3s, or sorry, the Mic Minis and the Mic 2s had a baby and they made the Mic 3s. Because it's just like it took so much from both of the designs and just put them in one. So I'm really excited to go to them. So I'm gonna quit rambling and let's hop right into it. I have the website open because I want to go off what they're saying as well as notes I took from articles I read. But from the start being, they did some really change-ups in their design. So we're not gonna get this like kind of standard square one like this. We're gonna get like the Mic Mini versions, which is really cool. I like the way that they were like, hey, let's go in a smaller direction. For videographers who do weddings, that's probably ideal because then they can really tuck that in. So it's smaller. I know it doesn't come with a lapel mic, so you lose that top part right there where you can put a lavalier in there, but that's okay. I feel like a lot of people don't use them. I use them occasionally, so I'm not really upset about that. I know the clip itself is not attached to it anymore. It's attached by a magnet, and then you get the magnet squares. So you can attach your mic, whether it's through the magnet squares or using the clip. And then the clip, you can rotate the mic now. So if you clip it like downward like this, you can rotate the mic towards the area you want to record, which I think is really cool. But yeah, they're smaller, they're lighter, they're prettier. That's about it. Now, when we look into what they've added and made better, there's a lot, but I'm gonna go over some of the things that I really like the most. The first one is they have adaptive gain control. So now, rather than go in post-process and adjust your gain or adjust the gain in the receiver, you can now, and as well as the transmitter, it now has a setting to do it automatically, so it reduces the risk of clipping. And then they have a dynamic version of it, so then it does it better for when you're indoors to reduce any clipping based off of like echoes against walls, which is really cool. In the conversation about like changing or adjusting the gain, this is kind of still in the same category, but you now get 3 voice type presets. It's just regular, rich, and bright, so it really changes, I guess you would say, like, you know, the lows and the highs of an audio recording. So that's really cool. So, you know, obviously rich is going to sound more powerful, and then bright's going to be a little bit more clarity, more sparkle, more that's what they're writing off of it, but it's going to be clean. The samples they have on the website, you can really tell the difference, which is kind of cool. So if you're like worried about like, or not worried, but you hate editing your videos because then you have to change the way your audio sounds, this might be a very good like solution for you. You have now 2 levels of noise canceling. So you have your standard one, which will cancel any kind of like background noise if like there's people behind you talking or a little bit of a small crowd. And then you get your strong version, which then focuses on pulling your vocals up and then reducing any environmental noise behind you. So that's good. I think having 2 levels is perfect because, you know, like I've filmed in areas where cars are passing by, and I felt like the noise canceling, like, it's doing its best, but it's just like, it struggles almost. I think the really cool thing, and this actually made me be like, oof, I would buy it for this. So the receiver itself can now connect up to 4 channels. So you can have up to 4 transmitters connected to one receiver. Back then, it was only 2, maximum was 2. So this means that if you're doing something like an interview or a podcast where you have more than 2 guests, let's say obviously 4, you can now do it on 1 receiver. Then you can actually link up that 1 receiver to 7 more, and they can then have their transmitters on that receiver. And that way, if you're doing a big, huge interview project, you have this just wide space to then get all the audio from all the transmitters into one camera or multiple cameras depending on what you're shooting on, but it's all synced up, which is really cool. On the conversation of syncing up, these new receivers have a time code built into them. So then now you can match the time code on your receiver to your camera. So when you're in post-process, you can do, I know some of the post-process softwares can do sync up to time code, and boom, you have that capability now because the audio now has their own time code and you can match them up. I keep saying everything's cool, but this is also another cool thing. You now have dual file 32-bit flowing. So this means that you get 2 files when you're recording your audio using the 32-bit flow internal recording. So let's say, I don't know, you're using a noise canceling on one, and then you're reviewing it and you're like, this kind of doesn't sound great. You now have a raw file to revert back to in case like it just doesn't sound perfectly. And I think it's just really cool to have to, because I know when I would like sync up, like take the 32-bit flowing recording, I don't like the way it sounds sometimes. So I'm glad they offered a 2-file system, so that way you have a backup. So that's all the things I really liked about the new mics. They're the same things you would see on the website. There's so much more. I haven't really gone fully in depth in them, but I wanted to kind of go on like the surface level. I think about the things that really gonna make buyers be like, oh, like that's actually really cool. I want that. Because it made me feel that way. Because there's certain features they have there that I'm like, dude, like I've been hoping for this in the long run, and now it's here. So the conversation goes like, am I gonna buy it? Maybe, but right now it's out of stock. So I don't have like, if it was in stock, I maybe would, but right now they're all out of stock. I can try to find them on Best Buy or Amazon, but I think these were so good and such a big upgrade that people snagged them the minute they were available on their website or other places. So fingers crossed I can get a hand on them and do some test runs, compare this to the Mic 3s. But they're really good audios. I've been waiting for something like this, like I said, so it's super sick. But hopefully this video kind of give an insight or saved you some time reading countless of articles of what it offers. If you like what I like to do, like and subscribe, comment down below if you have any questions or you're excited for these mics, whichever. I have a lot of other stuff to do today. I feel like this entire week I've been busy, so I've been trying to get some stuff out before I leave because I know I won't be able to do anything when I'm gone. But with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Let's see if I can get my hands on these mics. Fingers crossed. So anyways, catch you all later.